Hello everybody and welcome to Car Confections. Now I'm standing out here in the middle of the night, not just for any vehicle. What's sitting beside me is the refreshed 2025 Genesis GV80, and this is of course getting some really cool lighting elements this year. So what we're going to be doing in today's night review is diving into all those lighting elements. So let's go ahead and get started. So as always, we'll begin our night reviews with what happens when you walk up to the vehicle. Now, as you'd expect out of an $82,000 car, you do have some pretty cool sequences when you walk up to the vehicle. For one, when you start to walk up, the mirrors will just go ahead and fold out. It's not when you grab the handle, they'll fold out when you walk up. And it's also going to project a really cool Genesis logo here on the ground. I'll go ahead and insert a picture of what that looks like so you can get a good look at it, but really nice look at nighttime. You also have illumination behind the door handles. And when you grab the door handle, that's going to go ahead and unlock it. And you can take a look inside the cabin. Now, of course, inside the cabin, there's a lot of cool lighting. We're going to dive into that in just a second, but let's go ahead and hop inside and check out the exterior lighting at night after we fire it up. And let's see what it looks like at night on the outside. Now, of course, like we have mentioned in our full review, which, by the way, if you want to see a review of this GV80 in the daytime, you can find that on our channel. But we did get a pretty big refresh for 2025. It's not going to change a ton of the overall design itself, but we do have a lot of new elements inside. So as you can see, we have a big chromed grille at night, which definitely shows up. But really the main element that changed this year was the headlight unit. So you can take a really good look at this. This is a absolutely gorgeous headlight unit. As you can see, it is full LED, and you have a ton of individual crystals in both the top and the bottom. So this is your low beam right here. You also have high beams integrated down in the very bottom part. And you have daytime running lights going through here. And in signature Genesis fashion, it kind of goes all the way into the side of the vehicle. And it also doubles as your turn signal indicator. Really a beautiful headlight cluster. And I'll talk about this more on the inside, but it has really good performance for 2025 as well. Now, as we head around to the side of the vehicle, you're going to notice new wheel designs for 2025. These are a really nice 21-inch alloy wheel combination. We also do have turn signal indicators here on the side. It's actually not in the mirror. It's on the actual body of the vehicle itself. Speaking of the mirror, the mirrors are going to be really nicely done. We have auto dimming on both sides, so that's something a lot of luxury brands cannot say. It's something the X5 doesn't have, for instance. Both sides, both driver and passenger, in addition to blind spot monitoring. Now, as we head around to the rear of the vehicle, you can, of course, see the really pretty GV80 shape. And then checking out the rear, it's really not going to change a ton for 2025, but we still have a really good look overall. I think it kind of has a Bentley Bentayga vibe to it. As far as some of the design elements, Genesis is spelled out across the back. And then checking out our taillights, I think they look even cooler here at nighttime. You can see all the really cool three-dimensional elements that they've really put in these taillights. They're full LED, as you'd expect, and you do also have an LED turn signal indicator and brake light through here. Now, another thing I want to point out is the fact that you do have LED license plate lighting. So they haven't cheaped out on that element. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop the trunk, which we can do by pushing this button right here. Now, when we do that, you'll notice that we have quite a large trunk. I'm not going to go into all the specific figures. You can find that in our full review, but expect around 80 cubic feet with all the seats folded down. And we do have a ton of lighting. Check this out, guys. So we have LED spotlights on both sides, so that illuminates out. And then you do also have a big dome light that illuminates down. This is as bright as it gets for any type of trunk I've ever seen before. But without further ado, I'm sure you're really curious to see what the inside is like, so let's go ahead and check out the inside.
If you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
And we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars.
All right, so Walking up to the interior. Wow. When you open up the door, you are, of course, going to be greeted by a lot of lighting. So you can definitely see where you are going, and I appreciate that in a luxury vehicle because not all of them are like that, believe me. So as far as the cabin, I give it like a 10 out of 10 on illumination. It's almost too bright sometimes if you're really tired, but let's go ahead and hop inside. Of course, we have the beautiful interior color option. You won't be able to really see it at nighttime, but this is actually a green color. Really, really nice. We shut up the door. The seat will go ahead and slide back into place. Let's start it up. But let's go ahead and switch into a first-person POV so we can dive into some individual features and details. So, looking out the windshield, before we talk about that head-up display, I want to talk about the headlights. So this is the low beam setup that you're looking at right now. As you can see, it's quite bright. If I flip that forward, that is going to activate your high beam. As you can see, those are very bright high beams. You can even see way up there to that tree. And you don't have to fret because we've actually got a clip of it running at nighttime. As far as this headlight is concerned, we test a ton of luxury vehicles on this channel. We test all types of vehicles, actually, and I'd give this headlight a score of just an A to an A+. It's a really impressive headlight setup. It's not a given for luxury cars to have great headlights, but indeed for this 2025 refresh, Genesis has improved the headlight unit. We've had a other GV80 on loan, the previous pre-refresh model, and it's not nearly as good of a headlight, so I'm happy they have really improved these this year. Now, as far as the head-up display, it's of course very nice and bright. One thing I do want to point out about it is the fact that displays blind spot information and all types of navigation instructions as well. Now, as we come back, you will, of course, notice this giant single display setup. This is really incredibly impressive in the daytime. It's going to look even more impressive at nighttime. It's 27 inches. It's an OLED display. One of the highest resolution screens I've ever seen in any production vehicle. It's really just amazing. Now, like I said, if you want to know all the details and stuff, we'll do that in our daytime review. But as far as other things, I want to point out you have the blind spot camera system. The resolution is pretty good. Just a little bit of graininess at nighttime, not much at all. So we head back to the steering wheel. We have a new design for 2025 two-tone, really nicely done. Power tilt and telescoping, leather airbag cover. All of your buttons are going to be illuminated in a kind of a blue-white color. Looks really nice. And then this is going to be a touch capacitive button that allows you to switch between different things in these screens right through here. Now off to the side, you will also find illumination for all of these buttons, ambient lighting going through here. Door trim button illumination. We have illumination for our door handle as well, and then more ambient lighting going all the way through the door trim. As far as the ambient lighting, let's go ahead and talk about this. As you can see, it goes all the way across, down the door trim through there. It's around the cup holders, and it's also integrated underneath of the center console. So really a ton of ambient lighting. It's even in the glass shifter. Really, really premium. As you would expect, you can also adjust the ambient lighting in a couple of these menus, and it gives you really full customizability. You can even do custom color settings. Whatever your heart desires, you can get when it comes to the ambient lighting. It's also going to be in the footwells as well. So open up the center console. Center console is not going to be illuminated, so that's a little bit interesting for a luxury vehicle. It's nicely felt lined, though. The console itself is really shallow, so maybe that's why they didn't illuminate it. And then as we head up, like I said, this is your shifter. If I can get the camera to focus again. When you shift into drive, it's just going to stay the same color, but when you go into reverse, it'll actually switch to red, which is a really neat touch. Here's your 360 camera. You do even have the ability to do a really cool 360 spin around the vehicle. I really like that. One thing I want to point out as far as the resolution is concerned, really good resolution. I would give this like a B score for resolution. It's not quite the highest I've seen, but it's still really good, and it doesn't even look grainy at nighttime. So very happy with that. Up in front of this, this is your controller if you don't want to use a touchscreen for the navigation. If we pop this open, notice more illuminated USB ports inside. And then right through here is your climate controls. This is, of course, new for 2025. You still have physical climate buttons. All of this is going to be integrated in the screen itself. So your heated and ventilated seat controls, your fragrance control, heated steering wheel. Of course, all that looks really good and premium at nighttime. It's finished in a nice white color. And then also finished in a nice white color all of your audio controls through here, as well as your volume knob. The volume knob does control a very premium Bang & Olufsen audio system. A very fantastic audio system. Like I said, we do an audio sample in our full review. Now, heading up to the main infotainment screen itself, like I said, this is all one piece, so you actually have no separation between this. It's all one continuous setup, which allows you to even have like cool backgrounds, such as this one, which represents the nighttime. In the daytime, it'll actually switch to a daytime background, which is kind of cool. As far as the screen performance, really nicely done. I'm noticing that on this model, we actually do not have wireless CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, so that's a little disappointing. But overall, the screen is phenomenal. It looks impressive at nighttime as well as in the daytime. Coming up to the mirror, you do have an auto-dimming mirror, HomeLink remotes. If we flip the switch, that'll show you your camera system. As you can see, it's not even grainy at nighttime, so I definitely appreciate that. Up at the top, we have our sunglass holder, and then we also have this button, which will turn on all of your lights. Like I said, there are so many LED lights in this cabin, it's not even funny. So when you press that button, it's like it's daytime. So definitely like that. You also have a dual panel moonroof setup, and we even have a suede headliner. But let's go ahead and see how the rear seat is going to stack up when it comes to this GV80. Let's check out the back seat. As you can see, there's a ton of room back here, which I definitely like. And when you open up the doors, all of those numerous LED lights are going to come on, so you can definitely see where you're going. All right, shutting it up. Let's get a full interior view. Look at that. Very premium looking cabin. As we head down to our control panel here, you will notice that we have our own climate controls. All of this is going to be illuminated. Additionally, we do have our own heated and ventilated seat controls in the back. More USB ports down here at the bottom. And we even have a household style outlet that has that red light for you to see where you're going. As far as the ambient lighting, you will notice that it's here on the door trim, so they haven't cheaped out on that. We also have lighting for our window switches and the door handle grab. Additionally, I want to point out we have power rear sunshades, so if you want it even darker in the back, you can do that. And we have some mirrors. The mirrors even have some LED lighting, so that combined with this, you're going to be able to see whatever makeup you need to do in the back seat. That is for sure. And these seats are also going to be fully power adjusting, which is a really cool touch that this fully loaded GV80 has. But overall, when it comes to interior lighting in this car, I give this an A+. This is one of the best interior lighting setups that I have ever experienced in a vehicle, regardless of price tag. It's really saying a lot, because some cars, they really just cheap out on the night lighting. This is not one of them. And guys, that's going to be where we leave off on this night review of the Genesis GV80. This, of course, is a pretty special product, so we're happy you joined in on this night review. If you're looking to buy a Genesis GV80 or any new vehicle, we would also encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. Now, the reason you do that is because we have a tool on our website that will connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealership negotiation. If you'd like to take advantage of that, a link is provided in our video description, and we also have a pinned comment at the top of this video. And guys, that's where we're leaving off on the night review. If you're already a fan and subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. If you're not already a part of our family, we would really appreciate you joining in, and we'd encourage you to do so. We'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies, and good night.